You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and I'm joined with my guy, Ray Jeezy. What's going on, Ray?
What's up, my brother? How's everything going over that way? It's good to see you. We were off last week, so
we were off.
We did the UMS interviews though, so I act like it ain't been.
But it's not like this is the actual live one though. We kind of played off like we're live for the UMS joints. We weren't though, for real. So
that's true.
But yeah,
but still, I saw you though, so I know you're doing well though. It's good to see you as always, though, my brother.
It's good, man. You know, busy. We always out here grinding. It's like we see each other a lot nowadays. So
yeah, shout out to Gary Russell Jr. That share helped a whole lot, my brother. I see what's going on out here in these streets now. I'm like, okay, the people now you want to recognize because the brother shared. But you know, I appreciate him. Appreciate the brother Michael Vick who took the time to do the interview.
Oh, that was dope, man.
Week. Good stuff for the urban sports scene for sure.
That was that was dope. I'm so proud of you, man. Everybody kept hitting me up like, look, Ray doing it. Lou hit me up on Facebook, was like, Ray doing it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then I told Lou, man, y'all know Ray a beast, man. Like that's just facts. Ray a beast. So you know,
it's you. Coach Hill was like, man, that opening fire. It's fire.
Hey, Coach Hill's awesome, man. I take all compliments in stride, man. I appreciate that compliment.
There you go. That's where I'm at, my brother.
Anyway, man, but let's knock off some logistics. Hey, check out our website, which is theurbansportscene.com. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search The Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the show. So the super chats we will prioritize those super chats. So any comment and you give us a super chat, we'll put that up on the show and make sure that gets first dibs compared to others. Also, don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, the homie Will teach to say this, so I'm gonna run it for him. Let's get into our tradition, the pregame.
I got you, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
See, you ain't trust me.
I did. So here's what we have on tap, and then you're gonna take the rest. See, I had that.
My bad. You're not a natural point guard. We already kind of talked about that before. Anyway, we are going to be joined by former Gonzaga College High School basketball coach and current Montverde Academy basketball coach, Steve Turner. We are excited to have him on the show as he is now an inductee to the DC Basketball Hall of Fame family. I don't know how serious people know that it is. You know, the great Randolph Childress is on that list, David Aldridge, Christy Winter Scott, some big names. And we are blessed to have Coach Turner join us tonight to talk about his coaching career and his journey leading this group in the Washington, D.C. area now, being at Montverde, one of the biggest high school basketball programs, if not the biggest high school basketball program in the country. Wole, I'm excited, brother.
Let's have him join right now. Did we do Ray? See, look, Ray, we can't be having you.
Cool. Boys basketball coach in Montverde.
Hold on, Ray. Ray, no one can hear you. Oh, hey, Ray. Wow. Hold on, Ray.
What happened to me?
Bro. You got knocked off. Now we got switched off. We gotta make sure you got switched back. I gotta remove you and and I gotta add me. Hold on. There we go. Now we're good. Now, Ray, we're good. What happened to you again, bro? What are you doing? Why are you coming off the screen?
I don't know what happened.
Now you're back. That's what it's. All right. I knew it wasn't me. It was okay. Now you're good.
All right,
Coach.
Here we go, Coach Steve Turner.
I was about to say, what's happening? Ray disappeared.
It was musical chairs for a second.
I know, but he was disappearing on me at first. Then it put me in his box. Now he's here.
Yeah, hey, that wasn't me. That's technology. But Coach, it's good to see you. Like I said, Coach Steve Turner is joining us. Will be inducted to the DC Basketball Hall of Fame. Coach, welcome to the Urban Sports Scene.
Fellas, appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
It's good to have you. And we were joking a little bit before. It was dope talking to you. And there was a quarterback at Gonzaga, because you are, of course, the former Gonzaga boys basketball coach by the name of Caleb Williams. But you're a Commanders fan. And that Hale Jaden situation that happened against your man, who was you rooting for that day?
I'm always going to root for my guys. Caleb is my guy.
Yeah.
He did some special things for us down on I Street and had a heck of a college career. And now he's faced with going against the best in the world. And I've seen the kid play since he was in middle school. He's always found a way to prevail. So I expect nothing less. And hey, it's brick by brick. Rome wasn't built in a year, and I think people are going to see some great things from Caleb before it's all said and done.
And in other words, you was celebrating with all the rest of the like my man over here when that Hail Mary somehow that completion. You thought the game was over, Wole. You remember that?
I did.
No, I was there. I was on the sidelines.
Oh.
I was at the game against the Math on the sidelines. I ran on the field just like the kids. and then he threw the touchdown to a kid who was a two-sport athlete, John Marshall, who we all should tip our hats to because he's a guy who works in the armed services and represents our country at the highest level in the Navy. And so John made the catch. Caleb put it to where nobody else could get it but him. It's funny because they practiced at Catholic that week, and they had thrown that play and made it happen in practice that same week. So, man, God is perfect.
I remember that, but we talking about two different games, though, Coach. I don't know if you realize that. I'm talking about when the Commanders beat the Bears.
Man, I'm talking about the one when he took care of it.
I know what you're talking about, though.
You know that was a great game too. I mean, Caleb showed himself well, and so did Jaden. I mean, two of the best quarterbacks coming out of that draft. Right. You see them going head to head, and they both showcase very, very well.
That's what I was wondering who you was rooting for. That's all. I was trying to figure it out.
I'm rooting for my Commanders as a team.
Yeah,
okay.
but I got to see my man put up a few hundred, and we good.
Yeah, I feel on that one.
Yeah,
I feel you on that one.
Y'all think the Commanders is back, but Coach, again,
I'm not gonna say we back. No one said we was back. See, you was talking about that light skin stuff. Y'all like to try to
Exactly.
That's that thing. Y'all try to be slick.
They do. It's that I'll be short stuff, man. I be telling them. I know.
One hit wonders. You know.
Hey, I hope Caleb watches this one day. He gonna see what you're saying about us. That's why
you was just going against him. Now you want him on your team.
That's why Terry ain't coming back. That's why.
Hey, chill out, dog. Chill out.
Hey, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
We gonna figure that out too.
Facts.
He's trying to get his work. I
know.
Everybody doing it.
Yes.
Look, they trying to do it at the high school level now, so everybody doing it.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hold out though, Coach. You know, like I said, you at the highest level now. Good to have you. You know, we're gonna have some fun. Hopefully, we'll have you back in the future. But let's get started. Coach, before we get into your career, you know, me and Wole, we take pride on this show that we cover HBCU basketball. We cover a lot of Howard University hoops, and a brother by the name of Blake Harper became a star. He ascended from basically being this chubby freshman to being one of the best freshmen in the country, the whole country, last season. Talk about Blake Harper real quick before we get into the good stuff about your career and what you're building now at Montverde.
So, in reference to Blake, we knew this was coming. Blake, I mean, I've watched Blake from the womb. Like, that's like my nephew. His dad and I coached together at Gonzaga. His dad's an alum of Gonzaga and still works at Gonzaga and was one of my top assistants. Blake has always had all the things that everyone saw growing up. He just needed, as simple as it is, he needed to hit puberty. And it happened while he was at Howard. We expected that to happen while he was at Gonzaga. And he had a good career at Gonzaga, not probably what he expected or even wanted, but a lot of that had to do with just nature, some things that we can't control. And God blessed him once he got to HU, and some things changed. I mean, the kid goes from like 6'4", 6'5" to darn near 6'8", gets in his best shape he's ever been in his life. All the skill set had already been there. Yeah. It was a matter of being able to have the body do the things that his brain was trying to have happen, and it wasn't allowing it to do because he was a chubby kid who wasn't in the best shape, but always had the skills. I mean, he was a starter for us on a team that went to a championship his senior year, and guarded some of the best players in the country that played within the WCAC. So, you know, and then some things happened. You got to remember, Howard lost two of their best players, got hurt that year.
Yep.
Last year. And Blake showed himself right off the bat. And Coach Blakeney, I mean, I always tell kids, get in where you fit in. Go to a place where you're loved. Go to a place where people believe in you and are going to give you your opportunity. Don't get caught into the names. Coach Blakeney gave Blake a great opportunity. And once he saw that Blake could handle it, he kept feeding him until he couldn't eat anymore. And the blessings for who he is and what we already knew he could be, you see it happen. Player of the year, rookie of the year, now moving on to a higher level.
Wow. So congrats to you as well. I know you played a role in that. Shout out to Coach Snoop, who of course was at every game. And of course, another player that you had, Tyler Thornton, was an assistant, and he played a big role in developing Blake last season.
One of the first ones for me in my first group. He was a PG on my first championship team in 08. He's a kid that came in and played for us immediately as a freshman. And I mean, you look at his career, Gonzaga to Duke to coaching at the college level, and now back home to Duke on the bench with Coach Shire.
Now, what did you say at the start? You said God wears purple or something like that. I just want to make sure I get it right.
I said God is purple.
Okay. To make sure I got that right. You know, I don't know if that has to change now that you done moved on. But
hey, look, I moved down to Florida, but some things didn't change. I'm still purple and I'm still evil.
All right. And but your grocery store changed, right? You're not John no more. You Publix, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That move is no joke. All right, but Coach, thanks again for just talking about Blake, because that was one of the best stories in the country last year.
As a coach, a very proud moment to be able to watch that happen last year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me and Wole, we went to UMES, Maryland Eastern Shore. At halftime, we had 23 and Blake had 23 last season. That tells you the type of like player he was. He was mentioned with the top guys in the country. So Wole mentioned this before we came on, just asking you about just your coaching journey and how you even got into coaching. For some of our listeners, share about how you came to become a hoops coach.
I mean, I've coached, I feel like, almost all my life. I have two younger brothers and sisters. They're twins. And we all grew up in the Silver Spring Boys and Girls Club, which doesn't exist anymore, over there on Forest Glen near Holy Cross Hospital. It's now I think, a grade school. And so I coached them. Like, you know, I always felt like I was the coach in the neighborhood. I was the guy organizing, the pickup games, organizing the flag football, touch football, mall ball, night tag. I was always the leader in some type of way. Point guard by nature, my position in basketball, played soccer, played baseball, but I was always the guy organizing and coaching everybody up. And then I go on to college and I come back home. But during that time in college, every summer I was coming home coaching the DC Blue Devils, who we know some of the guys who came out of that organization: Kevin Durant, Ty Lawson, Roy Hibbert, Marcus Ginyard, to name a few. And Roger Mason, Chris Monroe. Like, we had some dudes over the years in that organization. So when I got back, some of the guys that I was coaching were all in the WCAC. And I found myself kind of wanting to coach at that level. I got a call from a guy by the name of Mike Glick, guy who's been an unbelievable coach here in the DMV at a few different schools. And he needed a head JV coach and a varsity assistant. And so he had a couple of the kids who I was coaching at the time, David Morris, Rick Smith, and Nate Green, and a kid by the name of Austin Rowland. And so I decided to join his staff. And I guess you could say, as they like to say, the rest was history. You know, I'd spent the year there. I was getting ready to have my first child, and I needed a full-time job, and they couldn't provide that. It's crazy because the whole year I was a substitute, and I substituted every day. So Mike went to the head of schools and said, hey, why don't we create a position for him? He's been here every day. We've been paying him, you know, give him a job, give him a salary. If we don't have an exact job in the building, let's create something. They couldn't do it. Keith Stevens, team takeover, guys will know him very well, was at Newport Prep with a guy by the name of Chris Chaney. It convinced me to come over there with those guys, and I spent the year with them. But my eye had always been on the WCAC because Pilati at that time was in the WCAC. And I would go because our schedule for Newport was independent. I would just go watch a lot of WCAC games on the nights we weren't playing because I had kids at DeMatha, I had kids at Gonzaga, kids at Good Counsel, kids at Pilati, so the league had all the kids that were playing for me in the summer. So I would just go watch those guys play every night. Ended up with two kids who played for the Gonzaga team, Pat Mitchell and Tommy McCluskey, introduced me to assistant coach there, Bill Whitaker. And Bill and I became really good friends. He's still a mentor of mine to today. And they had an opportunity for me to come over there, and I applied. And then you can really say the rest was history. I joined Coach Meyer's staff, spent 5 years as an assistant coach underneath him. And then when he decided to retire, I had the opportunity to go after the job and was awarded it. In 21 years, head coach on I Street, coaching a lot of kids all over the DMV.
Man, you know what? You kind of came for our age before we came on, but you are definitely taking me back. Austin Rowland played against him. He went to Delaware first, right? Then Lehigh. He was a player of the year. And
shoot that.
Something else. Oh, you said Pat Mitchell. Wole, you remember when Pat Mitchell, that Gonzaga team, they swept Keith Bogans and
Joe Forte,
yeah, that's crazy.
That team was nasty.
I mean, you look at the dudes who were in the league at that time: Keith Bogans, Joe Forte, Roger Mason, Chris Monroe, who's the all-time leading scorer at GW.
Yeah,
I coached.
Chris Monroe. Yeah, I forgot about Chris Monroe.
That class was loaded. You had the guys who played in the city: Derek Payne, Al Miller, got Ronnie Roman, who played at Dunbar. All those kids played in the same AAU team with me.
Wow. I'm gonna do my best, Wole, not to get sidetracked, bro.
You gotta go ahead. No, go ahead.
We got big stories like Roy Hibbert. You remember his time at Georgetown, how it started. Man, big coach, as Coach Broders called him, he was tough on Roy Hibbert. So I know that it was good to see him also, kind of like Blake. That ascension was probably great for you to see him just evolve into a great player.
I mean, you got to remember when Roy couldn't walk, spit, and chew bubble.
Everybody keeps saying the same thing.
I'm not even trying to be funny.
No, everybody said the same thing.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
And then he gets to Georgetown. They keep him in that back gym, and he's working, getting that footwork right. Perennial pro.
Gotta teach him. Wole, because he had some moments where he cried, man. It makes me as a father, I gotta remind. Maybe I'll tell my kids that story because the growing pain sometimes. A parent, he ended up going through all that. Was close to quitting from what we heard, man.
The dude who doesn't get enough credit for Roy is Daryl Prue. Daryl Prue is the guy in that back gym working with Roy, getting Roy right.
That's who's working with Roy all consistently.
All that time at Georgetown, Daryl Prue got that guy right.
Crazy. So Coach, what would be your, you mentioned you get to your journey to Gonzaga. Obviously, there's so many great things at Gonzaga. What would be like your proudest moment at your time in Gonzaga?
It's funny because it's not even a championship moment. Even those are very special and will be in my top 5. Being able to coach my youngest son.
Wow.
Like that was a special opportunity for me.
That's interesting. Out of all the guys that you had.
And it's crazy because he's still in college right now, and he's currently going to play against my arch rival during my time at Gonzaga, Mike Jones at Old Dominion.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the basketball world is so small, and the brotherhood of it is different than what most people know. Like I know there's parents at DeMatha because a couple of Mike's former players, moms go to church with my mom at Mount Zion with Pastor Keith Battle. And the one mom always thought me and Mike were enemies, but she didn't realize every summer Mike and I were at Nike camp together, NBA Top 100 together. Then we became working USA basketball together, and now he's coaching my son. Like it's a brotherhood that's different than what people know.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach. Yeah, I like him as well. He coached a couple kids that I know, but he didn't respond to my text. You did. So you got the leg up on him. But it is crazy, though, because, so much talent came out of the D.C. area from, of course, Gonzaga and from, you mentioned the WCAC. Where do you rank that in terms of basketball conferences? Now that you moved on, I'm going to say this. I still have it as it's the number 1 traditional high school conference in the country. Okay. There is none better. What I'm going into is a little different. It's all Nike, and it's a scholastic academy type conference. Every school in that conference is not a traditional high school. Where the WCAC, they're all traditional high schools, Catholic League. It's a difference. I would say they're the 2 top conferences in the country. Are there any games out of many you played, you done experienced buzzer beaters, you've been on both sides of it, we've seen it, what game stands out the most to you over all the years that you coached there?
Whew.
You look back and say, man, that game, either we should have had that or we pulled that out when I know we probably didn't have our best performance.
Man, I don't know that there's just one. Can I give you a 5 or give you a few just to tell you what the situation?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So I'll go at the Matha. That year we won the championship in 08, my first one, because that was back in the old gym at the Matha. And we had the two last wins on that floor. So the last 2 times that the Matha was defeated on their old court before they moved into the big one were to us at Gonzaga.
Wow.
Chris Likes, Les Schwab Invitational in the semifinal game. It should have been probably should have been the championship game. In the semifinal game against Sierra Canyon with Marvin Bagley and those guys. We lost the game, but our team put on a show. And we didn't get to the championship. And I love Nike to death, but I'm gonna just call it a spade a spade. We didn't get to the championship because they wanted the number 1 junior and the number 1 senior to play against each other in the finals. Michael Porter and Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin Bagley. Yeah.
So, on a game that we were about to break their back and win, that last few minutes, I don't remember the whistle going our way at all. But our kids, I had to give them. I walked away from that game feeling like it was a win.
Wow.
Modern day, when they came to DC and played in our tournament, they had 3 big-time top 30 players, all going to Pac-12 schools, and arguably one of the best coaches in the country, who's coached there forever. And we beat them in the finals of the Gonzaga DC Classic. And that was Tyler Thornton, Cedric Lindsey, and Malcolm Lemons were the leaders of our team that year when we beat those guys. And then I would have to say this past year, down in Miami, even in a loss, went into their hometown first 2 games of the year, number 1, number 2 in the country, and we lost to Columbus with the Boozer twins in a game that got taken away from us. Derek Dixon, your light-skinned brother, bangs a 3 that would have won the game, and the referee calls it off.
Wow.
The head of officials right in front of my face tell that official that he stole the game from us. But it was ESPN used to have the instant classics.
Yeah.
I would name all those games as instant classics in my career. And there's some other ones, but those stand out right away.
Wow.
That is crazy. So I'm gonna piggyback on that one, then, Coach, because since Ray's giving you moments to go back and giving you a list of top moments. Give me your top players you coached.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I can't name 5. So.
Oh.
I mean, it's hard.
I know it is.
I'd have a 5 and a second 5, but I've been asked this a couple times, and I would imagine it's probably changed every time I've said it. But I think the mainstays, Chris Likes, the Mighty Mite, all-time leading scorer in the school's history, broke an over 30-year record held by Hall of Famers Tom Sluby. Chris Jenkins, who we know has arguably the best shot ever in college basketball.
Yeah.
He made 5 shots like that in his senior year, almost in the same spot.
Yeah.
To win games against O'Connell, the Matha, when we beat the Crime Stopper over at Coolidge that year. I think he hit one against St. John's that year that way. He hit that shot 5 times in his senior year to win games, literally almost from the same spot. Prettiest jump shot I've ever seen. And Derek's up there, but Chris Jenkins' jump shot is poetry in motion. Tyler Thornton, just the ultimate leader. Served the plates, did whatever you needed on that night to win. Max Kenny, who was on that championship team with Tyler, all-Met player, first team. He was the first ever WCAC player of the year when we started giving that award out. It was his senior year. Ian Hummer, who was another guy on that team. Terrence Williams. The backcourt this year. Nick Lewis, Derek Dixon. Man, and my favorite player I've ever coached, my child.
Awesome. I love it.
Oh man, I'm trying to tell you, it's so much to be. Like I said, we gonna try to have you back. I know where you coach at now. It's gonna be a little more difficult once.
Man, home base is home base. I'm always be able to come to DC, and as you know, technology. All they got to do is tell me what time to come on and plug me in.
I'm gonna keep it in mind. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like,
tell me what time and plug in. I'm there.
I do want to say something about being a DMV coach and whatnot. What did you, as being a DMV coach, what characteristics, knowing that you've been around hooping in the DMV, have you been able to carry over to your coaching style?
That grit.
Okay.
DMV, we built different. And there's other cities that had their thing, but as those guys did the video in the movie, it's in the water. And you look at it, it's not just on the boys' side. Look at the girls.
That's a fact.
Like, people don't talk about that part enough.
Facts.
I was gonna say it.
Right now, the best city in basketball for women is definitely the DMV. It's not even close. And I think it's that brotherhood. I wish there was still a little more of the outdoor stuff, where the kids were still playing against men and having to fend for themselves and understand, like, if you messed the rec up, I would probably use another word, but I can't do that.
I love it.
If you messed the rec up, you wasn't going to get a chance to get back on the court. So you had to figure it out. Yeah. Now, everybody could pay a check, right? Get their parents to write a check and get a chance to play for somebody. There was only 2 AAU teams back in the day. If you weren't good enough to be on one of those 2 teams, then you had to go hone your skills out on the court against grown men. And I think there's still some of that, because the guys who are coaching those kids, the coaches who are coaching kids now, they were a part of that. And so I think that's what we've added to the DNA of the kids that we coach now from this area. And I think it's that grit and that toughness and that ability to understand, like, when we go to city, we're going to represent DC to the fullest. And that's why you see our teams at the top and all over the country, whether it be in high school or the AAU circuit.
And Coach, I'm going to
give you a piece of that. Is the coaching. You got some guys who can really coach that maybe don't coach at some of the bigger name schools that get talked about in the DMV. And I think that's something that people we don't get enough credit for. There's a lot of really, really good coaches on the men and women's side of this game here in the DMV that are teaching these kids how to play the right way. You look at a DMV player, most kids, and I'm going to say probably in the 80 to 90% that go Division I play as freshmen. There ain't a lot of cities in the country that can say that.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, I was going to say something. Actually, I got a text from a friend of my coach. My friend Antoine Gaither said, "What's up to you?" He said
there's one of those coaches that don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I say this all the time. When I look at the takeover group, he does an unbelievable job with the kids that he has on that 16U squad. And shout out to my man who's his top assistant, Blair Mills. Those guys get the most out of the guys that they coach, and he's a really, really good coach.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Shout out to you, Antoine, man. Make sure mention because he saw you. He was like, yeah, he had to make a comment. So, Ray, you wanted to say something?
Because just to speak to that. You are one of many coaches around the country that's from here that gets hired to coach in different states in Florida. Look at IMG, the women's coach, like the DMV, we're everywhere you go. And that's the thing. That's why we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame in a second, I promise, Coach. But it's amazing how the schools around here do not seem to get as much talent from our high schools as they should. I remember, I know for a while it was a foregone conclusion, like Nate Britt was going to Maryland. Like, we thought that's what was going to happen. And I mean, shout out to him and whoever makes the best decision for themselves. But I feel like on the college scene, we could get more of our homegrown talent right here to stay home. But it doesn't always seem to happen like that. But it's just speaking to what you're saying, the coaching, the players, the culture. I love it, man. I really do. And I can talk about it all day. But we ain't got all day. So we're going to move it. We're going to keep it moving.
I'm going to add one to that.
Go ahead.
We've had a lot of changeover in the coaches in the DMV at the college level. There's some really, really good high school coaches that they should take the opportunity to take a look at and think outside the box. The one who maybe arguably did it the best was a high school coach first. And God rest his soul, that was John Thompson. And Georgetown took the opportunity to take a chance on him, and look what he did. I keep saying that some of our colleges, I know that there's the trend and the monkey see, monkey do a little bit. They go to these search firms, and certain guys do the buddy system thing to hire their guys, but I think they're missing out on some guys who have been sitting right here that they could have also had some opportunities to go coach a couple of teams here in the DMV.
We got a question on Instagram, Ray. Bison Brothers Basketball said, what do y'all think about Coach Blakeney, a DC kid now coaching at Howard?
Oh,
so talk to you.
We'll let you take that one, Coach. We'll let you take that one.
Hey, there's my example. Kenny Poopy, as we call him, Kenny Blakeney. He went away and came back.
Yep.
Coached in the Ivies, coached under a legendary player here, Tommy Amaker, and did some stints at other places, Delaware, and then he had his opportunity to be a head coach, and he's figured it out. And you see what he's done and got Howard rolling in the right way. And even in this tough time where you're losing players every other year because the big boys come and snatch them, Kenny keeps finding the right pieces to keep that team at the top of the league.
And I'd be remiss not to mention my guy Dwayne Simpkins over at American, who just took that.
Man, that's Bama. I hope he's listening. Decent, good dude. I'm excited for him. But that's a WCAC product. Played here. He's one of those guys. You said he stayed home. Played at the Mather. Played at Maryland. Again, got himself in the college game and moved and learned from some different folks. Has gotten his opportunity now to be a head coach, and look what he's done in his first couple of years.
Coach, the reason why we brought you on here, of course, is because you are being inducted into the DC Basketball Hall of Fame. Again, I mentioned just a few names, but just all of the coaching names and the great coaches that have come out of this area. And being an African American, I know that DC was once the chocolate city. Shout out to my man Taj and everything, but still, it's been a journey. It's a grind, and I just want to know what that means for you in terms of just your legacy and just the honor and achievement that it is to be inducted into a Hall of Fame where so much talent and there's so many great names associated with the DC basketball scene.
It hasn't hit me yet, to be honest with you. Right? Like it was a unique call. I thought I was being Ashton Kutcher and Frank, because it's not something you expect to happen while you're still in the midst of your career.
Yeah.
And to be honored that way, I can tell you, like, I feel honored. I certainly feel blessed that people think of me in that way and what I've been able to do while I've been here in the DMV. I'm not gonna say was, because home will always be home base.
Right.
But to be put into the likes of the Dick Myers, who I coached behind, Morgan Wooten, who many will always say is arguably the best coach to ever coach it. Again, God rest his soul, Big John Thompson, talking Red Auerbach. It's some big names, and to be in the light of those guys, and I'm just speaking to the coaches. We ain't even talking about all the players and other dignitaries of the game of basketball that have already been inducted into this Hall of Fame. I feel blessed. I don't know that it'll hit me till I have to stand up there and speak on it in front of a crowd. But to go in with the crew that I'm going in with, man, I really feel honored. One of my first championship players, Ian Hummer, to go in with his uncle, who's one of the all-time leading scorers in the state of Virginia, played in the Final Four with Bill Bradley. Randolph Childress, who told my man, get up and come on back.
That's the all-time greatest thing ever.
The Admiral, Christy Winter Scott, David Aldridge, the DeMatha guy. So many great names. Kenny Carr. I can't say that I feel that I belong there yet. My career isn't over. But for somebody or somebody's, I'm sure a board, a committee, to say that it was my time, man, all I can say is I'm blessed, and I thank God for giving me an opportunity to have this achievement come my way.
I mean, you did see your resume though, right? Your resume is like that.
I'm just hey, thank you. I've never made it about me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to tell people like, okay, I mean, I joked with you on backstage and I said, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah.
And I really believe that, but it's I didn't get here without the Johnnies and Joes.
Mm-hmm.
The kids that I've been blessed to have an opportunity to coach, and not only them, the coaches who coach beside me, they're a major piece to this award too. This isn't just for Steve Turner. This is for all of us. And to be able to be the face that gets to stand up and talk about it, I'm blessed. But I've always said I serve from the bottom. I'm a guy that's about uplifting. I don't look at the resume. I don't talk about my resume. I know the things that I've done and have been able to achieve, but I know that it didn't just happen because of me by myself. And I was the head of the ship. And so when you're in that seat, some of these things come your way, but there are many people that I'm blessed to have been able to coach side by side with, and unbelievable players that I've had on my bench and on the court playing for me. They're the reason why I'm getting inducted into this Hall of Fame.
Man, now I got root for Montverde, bro. I'm one of them dudes that I'm watching Cade Cunningham, Caleb Houston, Scotty Barnes on the same team. I'm like, Montverde ain't fair, man. You know what I'm saying? I love high school basketball, but because of you, I got a root for him now. You realize that?
I appreciate you. I appreciate it.
No, but it speaks to all that you accomplished. I know when you do give that speech, you're gonna have to name a lot of names. Hopefully, you don't leave nobody out. Hopefully, nobody's hurt by it.
The people who have allowed me to be able to do this the most is my family. And that starts with my queen. Like, for her to allow me for so many years to give of myself in sometimes time that was detriment to our house. That she's the one that gets the biggest hats off to. The support that my parents have given me over the years. My mother-in-law, who when I'm at the gym and my wife's at work, going to pick up the kids and get them to where they need to go. Like, it's the village. My village is why I'm standing here. Like, they have. I talk about uplifting the people that I've been with. They're the ones who continuously uplift me. And I still remember my wife saying this to today, is that do something you love. Don't chase the money. She says all the time, like, you wake up every day happy. I haven't had the same day in the field of work that I do ever. And every day is something new and something different, a great challenge. And I love it. And it's nothing else in the world that I'd want to be doing other than what I'm doing. Coaching, changing lives, impacting lives. That's what I do it for.
It's a good segue, because I want to know what went into that decision when you got the job, or when you got the call, the Montverde job. I'm sure a lot went into that prayer, talking to your family. Like, how was that process before you made that jump?
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you the story, because I think people need to hear it. I was not looking to move. Gonzaga was what I believe to be my forever job. I always said I wanted to have the opportunity to do what Coach Myers did before me, retire from one place. And, I was blessed to be able to, I believe, take Gonzaga to some new heights, even different than what Coach Myers did. And his story is one of the best ever, because I think he's one of the coaches who did more with less and was able to beat so many great teams and great coaches. But a thing I always try to attribute to is, like, I wanted to take Gonzaga to be in a national program, and I did that in my 21 years. I would say 17 of the 21, we were definitely a top 25 program in the country every year. And I just felt like I could keep doing that where I was at. And the fact that I was coaching in what I still believe to be arguably one of the best conferences in the country. We don't get invited to Chipotle Nationals this year with a team that was a top 5 team, stayed in the top 10 pretty much all year. We're sitting at number 10 in one of the last polls before they put out the poll to make a decision on the 10 teams that we're going to invite this year. We win a state championship, even after coming off of losing the WCAC championship. We're sitting at number 10 at that time, and some powers to be got to play God. And the next week we lose a spot. when 7 teams in the league that I'm going to coach in had lost in their conference tournament. So only one team in that league could be the champion, and that was Lincoln. They were coming from behind. They were a playing game team. And then how do we fall from 10 to 11 to not get the invite? I still ask that question, and I ask that question to the people who got to make the choice of that happening. And so a couple of days later, my phone rings, and it's a Florida number, and and I answer, and hey, we're doing a national search. I'm sure you've seen Kevin Boyles leaving to go to Spire. We vetted our situation, and we're wanting to bring in people that we think could be a great fit. You're one of them. So I go and take a look at it. I'll be honest with you, I was not looking to leave Gonzaga. And I probably felt like at the time I was more looking to see what it was that made Montverde this great team of the decade. And once I touched it and saw that there was so much of it that was like Gonzaga, with different type of resources and ability to do different things and play again still at a national level, but be able to recruit the world, I had to take a look at it really strong and very serious. I had some sleepless nights. It wasn't an easy choice, an easy decision to make. And I kept it inside. Like, I didn't even tell my mom about it. I didn't tell her. The only people that knew were the people living in my house. And then I was the first person to interview, and I had to wait for everybody else behind me to go. So here it is. You know, I feel like I had 2 aces in my hand. I would have a bad choice one way or the other. It was to stay where my heart has been, or to take it on a challenge that I think brings a new fire to me, a new opportunity to me, but still in a place where I get to do the 2 things I said the most: mentor, impact lives. And I'm able to put some kids on a stage that could change their lives. And the fact that place is a school first, before it was ever the basketball power we know it to be, over the last 10 years or so, those things combined allowed me to be able to make a decision to do something I've been preaching to kids from the first time I've been a head coach: get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm also being put in that situation now because I'm uprooting my family from a place that's home all my life to take on a new challenge that we don't know what way it goes, but I'm up for the challenge. I know I'm built for the challenge, and it may come with some rocky roads, but I'm confident in who I am and the people that I have surrounded myself with to keep this program where it's been and hopefully take it to even new heights. I'm excited for what we got a chance to be and become.
And Coach, I had a follow up to that. Like, so in terms of what you're saying, is like, what is what the challenge, what swayed your decision more than anything? Because I'm with that. Like, sometimes you got to make yourself uncomfortable. Like the challenge to say, you know what, I've accomplished this, but now this is a whole new challenge that I haven't really put my feet in yet. And I really want to see where I'm at with it.
You know, everyone's always asked me would I go to college. And I've always said it had to be for the right person or right situation. This was the same thing.
Gotcha.
Because it is a college job at the high school level. Yeah. The way that our league is set up. We're coaching kids from all over the world. And we got to be able to find the right pieces. And every year there's going to be some leaving, and we got to go find more. So, I mean, I'm out there just like the college coaches trying to find the right kids to come play for us.
Wow. So my last question, and thank you for sharing the story, by the way.
That's dope. Appreciate it too. Yeah.
I knew it took a lot. I saw the Twitter post, which I sent to you, Wole, because I knew, I mean, you've been somewhere that long. It's not going to be that simple just to pick up and go. But Montverde, Montverde. It speaks a lot for itself. And you just mentioned being uncomfortable. So do you feel any added pressure just based on what Montverde has accomplished? I mean, number 1 pick after number 1 pick. How you feel going into this? How excited are you, or are you nervous? What is your thoughts and feelings?
Never nervous. Super excited. Okay. And you talk about pressure. There's no one in the world that can put more pressure on me than myself. And I think I've always operated under that. And because I'm not trying to exceed everybody else's expectations, because they can't put greater expectations on me than I can put on myself. So I'm not doing this for this person, that person. I'm doing it. Number one is to coach kids and help them get to a place that they're trying to get to. So even not winning championships will never define me as a coach and what my mission in life is. Mm-hmm. It's making sure that I still get guys graduating, going on to college and playing, and hopefully taking advantage of that little brown pill, orange pill, whatever color the ball is in their league, to get to the places they want to go, and allowing themselves to go get free education, now opportunity to change their families' lives in different ways at a different level. That's my mission. And the championships that come with it, hey, they're icing on the cake.
I love it. So do you already have a plan already? Like, you got this base here, like tapping into this base, all this talent.
Here's what I've said. I'm not going to come into the DMV and raid anybody's house. Mm-hmm. But if a kid calls me and they're interested, then all bets are off, because if they're looking for a place like mine and they can fit a need of ours as an institution in a program, I have to do it. And because if they're already not looking at your place and looking somewhere else, then you might be coaching against them. So you might rather them to come play for me. But I'm not going to come back home and try to just go raid somebody's kitchen. I won't do that anywhere. I mean, when I fielded the job, I can tell you right now, I could have put together 2 top 10 teams in the first 48 hours for the phone calls that came my way, whether it be from players and their families, from AAU coaches to people I know. Like, it's a destination. It has everything that you need as a player to be able to be successful and have yourself get to where you want to go, as long as you come in here and do the work. And that's the work on both sides, in the classroom and on the court. I think that's the thing that makes Montverde pretty unique and special. It's a school before it's just a basketball program. That school has existed since 1912. Cooper Flagg, Liam McNeely, Derek Queen, Asa Newell, all those guys who got drafted in the first round, they were in 7 classes a day, just like every other kid taking AP honors classes. I mean, Asa Newell walked out of Montverde with an associate's degree in college. He would probably be one of the first kids to get his college degree faster than anybody that's ever played in the NBA, because he's probably less than a year away from getting his degree. So to be able to have those things combined and be able to do something that I've been doing at Gonzaga, coaching the student athlete, I still get to do. And that part of it's special.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Like I said, hopefully we can have you back. And also, I've been passionate lately about interviewing, the athletes, male, female, as they're young and they're learning how to navigate the media. Of course, some of them are going to go on to play professionally, and we would love to hopefully interview some of your players, man. All the talent that's come through my.
All y'all got to do is ask and let me know which one, and we'll get it set up.
Sounds good. I love it.
Yeah, I like CJ Ingram on that team last year. He was so talented. I wish him the best. But yeah, I'll be in touch. And thanks for, of course, sharing your story, and just congratulations on all that you've accomplished and you got going on, and you still got so much more to achieve. So that's the dope part about all this.
Man, I appreciate you guys, and thank y'all for having me on tonight.
Oh, thanks for being on. I do like what you said too. Also, it's not always about winning the championship; it's just about getting those kids in the positions to be successful.
And those kids are the best trophies I've ever carried. They are my walking trophies. And the biggest thing that I always say that I want to see for them, man, get that cap and gown on after Gonzaga, because after Gonzaga, after Montverde, you're going to get that high school one. I'm going to make sure of that. But go get the other one that will lead to a life for you and the family you're going to build when the ball stops bouncing. That's what I want to continue to see, is our guys go get that college degree. Those are my walking trophies.
Well, Coach, thanks for being on. We appreciate it. And thanks for everybody for tuning into this dope interview with Coach Turner. So anyway, first off, how we always sign this show off. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene, the ages, Yiddig Deuces. We are out.